We're back in Wales for rounds 5 and 6 of the Probite British Rally Championship. And that means double the drama. Double the action. And double the points. As well as being part of the domestic series, JDS Machinery Rali Ceredigion is also a round of the FIA European Rally Championship. And the entry list features drivers from 14 countries. There's a really international feeling here in Aberystwyth. In terms of championship standings, nothing can be decided today, but some will take massive steps towards taking the crown. Chris Ingram's win last time out in Scotland took him to within 1 point of leader William Crichton. Keith Cronin, winner of the Jim Clark Rally, is next, while Welshman Ocean Price lies fourth. Price, the winner of the Severn Valley stages, will have the comfort of being on home ground for Rally Ceredigion, which he won last year. With double points on offer, there's an outside chance that the junior BRC title could be won this weekend, but Robert Proudlock would need to win both rounds. European Championship status requires some changes in the format we're used to, and one of those is a Friday qualifying session which decides the running order on Saturday. William Crichton was fastest of the BRC1 crews.
It started well this morning in qualifying. We had a nice time, feeling comfortable in the car. It was quite a tricky little bumpy stage, so probably not the one that I was looking forward to. So the fact that we came out with a decent time is, gives us confidence to start the rally.
And this is how they start the rally. 2 stages on Friday night run through the centre of Aberystwyth. There are changes to the start and finish compared to last year, and it actually runs in the opposite direction from 2023. Just 1.34 kilometres per stage, and with huge crowds on hand, this is the perfect way to start the event. It was Chris Ingram, along with Eric Skarani, who found real pace and took an early lead in the BRC battle. Keith Cronin has a moment around Aberystwyth, and there is damage to the suspension. In spite of that, he was just over a second behind.
Third short, right 9 over crest, wide.
John Armstrong and Owen Tracy, in their first British Rally Championship round of the season, put in a fantastic time on their second run through the town, and their time was to give them second spot overall behind Ingram. So, first blood to Chris Ingram, 1.5 seconds ahead of Armstrong, who is 1/10 ahead of William Crichton, with a very early start beckoning on Saturday. There was plenty for the teams to do in the service area. The first really meaty stage of the event is here in Breckfast. 19.75 kilometres await the crews on a stage that has fast sections over wide open moorland, followed by narrow lanes, tricky braking and some jumps.
At the junction we'll stop.
Yeah. And there's early morning drama. William Crichton has a puncture within the first 5 kilometres and has to change a tyre.
On left, yep.
That's a real blow to the Irishman and follows his double puncture issue in Scotland. Crichton gets back on stage, but now has John Armstrong on his tail. And Armstrong is demonstrably quicker through here. But not for long. Chris Ingram is flying. He sets the fastest time of the early BRC1 runners. Keith Cronin is fast, but still 10.5 seconds off Ingram's pace. His Fiesta needed suspension repairs in the 15-minute service period this morning after that drama yesterday evening. But the big talking point is this man, James Williams. With Ross Whittack alongside on their home event, he is flying. He sets the fastest time overall, quicker than the ERC runners. A blitzing 10 minutes, 18.8 second run, almost a full 6 seconds quicker than Ingram. He takes the overall rally lead. But not to be outdone, Marion Evans and Jonathan Jackson are keeping Welsh fans happy with a top 5 time on SS3. Among the junior BRC drivers, Johan Lloyd sets a strong pace, 12 seconds clear of his nearest rival. Possibly the biggest challenge of the rally is the Llyn-Brian stage, 26 kilometres long, and it offers demanding and open flowing roads with the reservoir as a backdrop. This is another real test for man and machine. Chris Ingram and Alex Kirani are right on it from start to finish, although here there's a little bit of dampness on the road just to catch out the unwary. Keith Cronin is 5.5 seconds shy of Ingram on this run, but into 3rd overall now behind Ingram and Armstrong.
Right, Max, of a bump.
Making a welcome return to the British Rally Championship is Matt Edwards, with David Moynihan alongside him.
Go for that.
Well held, sir. The former champion is up to 4th.
I'm open 3 right,
But no such luck here. Disaster for James Williams. After blitzing the times on SS3, just 1.5 kilometres into this stage, he's out. The good news is that James Williams and Ross Whittock are okay, but the stage is stopped and everybody else given a notional time, as it took quite a while to make the road clear again. For Williams, bitter disappointment, especially after that great pace early in the day.
To be honest, there was such a high after the first one and the emotions and things, and then to have like such a freak accident in the second one where it was just a small error in my pace notes, which I haven't had for so many years. Yeah, it was tough to take, really tough to take.
Dubbed a driver's favourite, the Nanty Moch stage is fast and the scenery is truly spectacular. It's 14.5 kilometres long, fast and flowing as it crosses the reservoir. Towards the end of the stage, there are some fast jumps and a narrow cattle grid. This stage has it all.
40.
Chris Ingram has taken 2 stage wins already and is after a 3rd here, but the Toyota doesn't quite hook up and Ingram is only 3rd quickest, dropping time to his rivals.
50. Max, you right, don't ever press cap.
John Armstrong has a tough time on Nanty Moch as well. A puncture losing him around 50 seconds to fastest man Ocean Price, and that drops him to 6th overall. Keith Cronin is charging as well after a recent win in Ulster. He's just over 5 seconds slower than Ingram on this stage, and overall he is less than 20 seconds off the Monaco-based driver in 4th place. William Crichton is having a day to forget.
1 left. 30. Early, 3 left, 1 over crest tightens to slow 3 left. Into 4 right, slow cut tightens 30. 5 left minus narrow over grid.
He does eventually get going, but his hopes are gone today. After the time lost with a puncture on SS3, a further 3 minutes are lost here.
Tight, 5 left hand.
Chris Ingram closes out the morning's driving with a sparkling 7 minutes 38.2 second run through Nanty Moch.
20. Tight 4 left just in over crest. Right over 40 finish into early.
That's good enough for 3rd.
Kept up. Nice and tidy through there.
Matt Edwards puts in the 2nd quickest time here on Nanty Moch. That slots him into 5th overall, but there are some quick drivers to come. William Crichton wasn't the only driver in trouble. Gary Pearson also has dramas on this stage. Nose first into the trees. The crew is okay, but a lot of time is lost. 10 minutes, in fact. There's a double dose of Welsh fire now as Ocean Price lays down the fastest time of the day, despite the car suffering from understeer. And then Marion Evans comes in with the 2nd fastest run on SS5, 2.5 seconds shy of Price. This stellar run puts Evans 2nd to Ingram in the event. Where did that come from? Johan Lloyd is certainly not going to let Robert Proudlock win the junior title here in Wales. Remember, Proudlock needs to win both rounds, but he's well behind Lloyd so far. But the morning belongs to Chris Ingram.
The pace is looking fantastic, but it seems to have come as a little bit of a surprise to you as well, maybe.
Yeah, to be honest, you know, when you compare against Hayden, who's leading the ERC, we're a little bit behind, but you know, it's the first time at rally in the car, so I think we're in a really great position and we've done a good job. We need to keep that up.
The afternoon stages beckon then, and we'll have the best action right after the break. Wales bathed in sunlight as the cars make their way to the first of the afternoon stages. It's a return to the first stage from this morning, to Breckfa.
Square left cut.
Will it stop and change? No point wrecking on him.
There's a depth puncture.
I think so.
Turn square left cut. 360.
Yeah.
William Crichton is trying to make the best of a bad job. But would you believe Crichton has another puncture?
Not one left, we're in the out. What is it from left?
Yeah.
Once again, he has to stop in a stage and change rubber, meaning more time is lost. Now, about this luck of the Irish. No such problems for John Armstrong, who goes fastest of all of the early BRC1 runners. It's great to have Armstrong back on the British Rally Championship stages, and he's a fascinating benchmark for the regulars. And those regulars include this man, former European champion Chris Ingram, who drops a little time here to Armstrong, but he still looks to be in overall control of the rally in the flying Toyota GR Yaris. Ingram, guided by co-driver Alex Kirani on the nose.
Right in over dip. 150 over crest. One left out over crest, number 20, tight 3.
2 left, 200.
Keith Cronin is rapid as well, just over a second quicker than Ingram, so second fastest on the stage and up to 4th overall after stage 6.
On crest, into 4 right, stay out. 20, 4 right mud. 100.
Marion Evans is still charging as well. He isn't the quickest here, but is fast enough to keep hold of the second place he gained after that stellar run on Nanty Moch, and that comes up again after the second go around Llynbrian. A reminder, Marion Evans had a spectacular run first time around here, over 6 seconds quicker than compatriot Ocean Price for a Welsh 1-2, and so the home fans are hoping for a repeat here. They're out in force too, as Top Line International Rallying makes a welcome return to the region. But this time it's John Armstrong who is the first of the BRC drivers on the tarmac and first on the timesheets as he takes a second stage win of the event.
6 left over bump. Into drop jump. 80. Slowing. 6 left over bad dip into fast 4 right big dump into 1 left plus half long.
With the car moving around a bit here, Chris Ingram doesn't look as quick nor as confident as he has in the past, but he's after the points now as he aims for a first Probite British Rally Championship crown. With points awarded at the end of today, it's a case of keeping ahead of his championship rivals and not making mistakes.
In bad mud into bridge.
Keith Cronin has no such concerns and he is pushing hard. He's second only to Armstrong's time, and that will vault him up to second place in the overall classification. Marion Evans is only 7th though through Llynbrian this time, as his Toyota is suffering from a turbo pop-off valve problem that's causing the Yaris to lose boost pressure. He has to cope as best he can and get to service to sort out the problem. He falls back behind Armstrong and Matt Edwards as a consequence, pushing him down to 6th. There is one more run round the mountains of Nanty Moch before the drivers return to Aberystwyth for the final 2 stages of round 5. Remember, they do it all again tomorrow, but on very different stages. But now, the second blast around the familiar Nanty Moch beckons. William Crichton isn't going to win this event, but he has something to prove. All he wants is a trouble-free run, and here he posts the second fastest time of all the BRC drivers. And it's John Armstrong who again has the fastest time of all. A third stage win and 3 in a row as well, making the opposition take notice. Chris Ingram looks a little more cautious. He said all along that his priority is to take home maximum BRC points. He's also feeling a bit below par. And bear in mind, this is his first tarmac rally in the Toyota. Armstrong, with that quickest time of all, is now within striking distance of a podium spot, as he's 6.3 seconds behind Ocean Price. Keith Cronin has recovered well after last night's town centre scare, and it looks as though he is secure on the second step of the podium. Chris Ingram, meanwhile, is clearly protecting his rally lead, but Cronin is starting to get uncomfortably close now. The battle for honours is not done yet.
5 left, don't cut, over crest, tight and slippy. 20, 4 left minus, into brake, 2 right, 20.
As Cronin crosses the line, he's now under 10 seconds behind Ingram. It's game on. Matt Edwards, 3 times a British Rally champion, is quicker than Ingram. He's 5th fastest on this stage, 5th overall. Ocean Price just hasn't found that blistering pace he had on this stage this morning in the Ford Fiesta that is still suffering from understeer. That is sapping the confidence of the 2022 British champion, although he's still hanging on to 3rd. Ryan McHugh is going well in the junior BRC contest, but has some very tough opposition. He's 3rd fastest here, having dropped time during the day with a wrong choice of tyre. But the man to beat is Johan Lloyd, who is over a minute ahead of Kyle McBride, with McHugh in 3rd. Lloyd wins 5 stages of the event, and it means that Robert Proudlock isn't going to win the title today. Callum Black and Jack Morton have had the open class in their pocket pretty much from the off, having overhauled Neil Roskell, who was fastest on SS1. Nathan Evans on target for a national win aboard his Renault Clio. The day ends as this round started with 2 blasts along the Aberystwyth seafront. And after the first run, the positions were Ingram leading, Cronin and Price in 3rd. The order remained the same after the second blast through the town, meaning Chris Ingram wins round 5 of the Probite British Rally Championship, a 3rd win of the season. Chris Ingram makes it 3 wins, and he could clinch the title if he wins round 6. Keith Cronin takes the runner-up spot, and Ocean Price, winner last year, has to make do with 3rd. John Armstrong is 4th in his first BRC outing of the season, just a 10th of a second behind Price. Matt Edwards also scores well on his first outing, and Marion Evans rounds out the top 6. Ingram now jumps to the top of the standings with Keith Cronin 20 points behind, and both have played their joker. William Crichton drops to 3rd with Ocean Price and Marion Evans, the only others who could realistically challenge for the title.
Well, Chris, that stage wraps up round 5 of the British Rally Championship. Another victory under your belt. How does it feel?
Big relief. Yeah, it's been a very, very tough day. I've not been feeling so well today. First time in the car on tarmac, so big relief to get that win, and then tomorrow pressure's off a little bit. We can push on hopefully for another one.
Well, Keith, that's a 2nd position on round 5 of the British Rally Championship. How has the day been for you?
The day got better as it went on. We did the first loop, we struggled a lot, but we made improvements, and the last loop went a lot better. Probably still not perfect, but getting better.
Johan Lloyd was pretty much untroubled in the junior category. Ryan McHugh and Kyle McBride, the only ones within 2 minutes of him. Robert Proudlock still atop the overall classification, but McBride and Lloyd are closing the gap.
Yeah, it's been good. This morning we kind of a little bit steady, I suppose, and then we got settled back in the groove. Hadn't been on tarmac for a little bit, so. But yeah, the pace between the Europeans and us was kind of better towards the afternoon, so which is good. But credit to them, they're on some pace. So no, we're happy enough to be improving.
But there's no time to celebrate as Sunday brings round 6 of the Probite British Rally Championship, and we'll be right back with all the action. A different day and different challenges as Sunday brings new stages to Rally Ceredigion. A reminder that Chris Ingram can be crowned 2024 Probite British Rally Champion if he wins today. Just 4 stages make up today's event, but they are long and testing. Ignore what happened yesterday, the clocks are reset for round 6. And the first stage they tackle today is Bethania. It's 10.74 kilometres long, flowing in some places and with narrow sections with hedges in others. Under European Rally Championship rules, a redraw of the starting order takes place, and they now run in reverse order with the fastest from yesterday running last. So it's the unfortunate William Crichton who's an early runner, but he sets a time that looks hard to beat. The first to try to topple him is Marion Evans. After yesterday's turbo problems have been resolved, he's pushing hard again, but is some 5 seconds off Crichton's time.
Right start. 3 left, 4 right start. Long, back left. 1 left, 3 shining, 4 right. 2. Back left, 2. 7 minus, 3, 8, 9. Left minus, maybe shining, 7, right.
On board with Evans, you get a sense of how narrow the roads are for the most part and just how precise you have to be. Even so, Evans is 3rd fastest here. Next to challenge is Matt Edwards, but he's just a little slower than Evans. Now, can John Armstrong top the times? He comes closer than anyone else, just 3.5 seconds slower than Crichton. And this is Ocean Price. Now, can Wales depose Ireland? The answer is no. Price is just 4th quickest here, behind Crichton, Armstrong and Evans. .7 kilometres into the stage for Chris Ingram, who said the pressure was off today after yesterday's maximum points. But disaster for Ingram. His hopes of winning the British Rally Championship crown today are as broken as his Toyota Yaris. He's out of the rally, and instantly the championship situation is turned upside down. Now here's the man who came 2nd yesterday, Keith Cronin. Maximum points here, and he would take the lead in the championship. Cronin pushing hard to try to take the rally win, but trying too hard. Another big accident, another big name out of the rally. What's happening this morning?
You better get out, Keith. Push the button.
And that meant stage 11 had to be called off, with all the other cars given a notional time. Stage 12, the first run through Hafford, which is a real beast. It's just over 17 kilometres or 11 miles long and starts with a medium width road before moving on to a double width section that's fast and twisty before a final part that's abrasive and narrower. William Crichton leads today's rally after Bethania. Nearly 18 kilometres await the drivers, so does changeable weather. The sun has given way to low-hanging cloud, and the windscreen wipers will be needed as there's light rain in the air. Gary Pearson and Daniel Barrett haven't had a great weekend so far. Let's see what they can do here.
65 right. 65 right. Here we go, 5 right, 95 right, and 3 double checking in. Fast. Then.
The time is 10 minutes 3.4. That looks beatable. This is early leader William Crichton. Remember, if he wins today, there will be 1 point between him and Chris Ingram as we head to the final event back here in Wales in October. Marion Evans looking good for a top 5 stage finish in the surviving Toyota. William Crichton and Liam Regan are pushing their Ford Fiesta Rally 2 very hard and setting some fast times, but the real opposition is from the same team as John Armstrong is flying. But chasing Crichton are Matt Edwards and David Moynihan in their Ford. Edwards is a welcome returnee to the British Championship, and the triple champion is getting faster stage by stage. Marion Evans is in jeopardy as the Flying Fords are trying to overhaul his Toyota. He's ahead of Edwards, but only by a couple of tenths. Crichton is looking good here, but ends up slower than teammate Armstrong, who eclipses all of the European runners as well. Edwards, with the same machinery as Crichton, is in the battle now for second place. It's a Ford fight at the front. Crichton heads to the finish.
Slight left, 100 over crest. Slight left into fast.
The time is decent, 9 minutes 44.9, but will it be good enough?
1 left opens for 50, tightens to 3 left opens holding into 1 right for 100. Tightens to 2 for finish, 40. Slight right, 30. Flat 1 left, stop.
It's a 9:44.9. William Crichton is quick, but not as quick as John Armstrong, seemingly. Now, what can Marion Evans do about that? He's 4.5 seconds down on Crichton here, so 6 seconds down in total after the first 2 stages. But Evans tells the officials that he was slowed down by a marshal at the scene of an incident, and so he's been given a new time of 9:46.4. Evans steady today, but not spectacular, as he sees his championship hopes fade. Matt Edwards is mirroring Crichton's time all along the stage. There's nothing to choose between the two Fords. But this is the man on a real mission. John Armstrong's split times are suggesting that not only is he going to be quicker, but he's going to blitz everybody, British or European Championship runner, on this stage. He's set for another stage win.
Right, tightens flat 5.
Matt Edwards stops the clocks at exactly the same time as William Crichton. 9 minutes 44.9 for both of them. Crichton's stellar first run keeps him around 5.5 seconds ahead of third-placed Edwards, though. But John Armstrong is on a mission, faster than anyone across the sectors as he aims for a BRC event win. Ocean Price struggled yesterday with understeer, and he has the same issue today. The Welsh wizard is 4th here despite glancing off a bank.
Flat crest, keep left. Over 18, keep 4 right, plus, keep tightened. 100.
But an amazing drive by John Armstrong puts him more than 10, yes, 10 seconds quicker than Crichton. That's amazing. He now leads the BRC1 field by 6 seconds. Is that down to his right foot or tyre choice? We'll find out later.
Just stop. Well done. 10 faster. William? Yep. In 44 now.
The last service break of the rally, and a chance for work to be done on the cars and for us to catch up with tales of woe, and for 1 or 2 drivers, some tales of joy as well.
First stage this morning, William was really fast, but we took a lot of time backing him on the second stage, and fastest overall. So, yeah, we're happy with that, and we'll just try to push on now this afternoon. But the weather is now raining, so it's not going to be easy.
Well, it was a self-confessed bit of a nightmare day for you yesterday. Things seem to be going a little bit easier today. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we started the morning much better. I got into a nice rhythm and had a good stage time. So it was a tricky little stage, so when it all clicks, it felt quite nice. Yeah, and then the second one, a bit more abrasive and just struggling with the tyre temps a little bit. So had a bit of an overshoot, but didn't drop too much time. Yeah, and then this afternoon, just hard to know what the weather's going to do, trying to get the best tyre choice now. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Stage 13 of the rally and stage 3 today is a return to Bethania for a second blast round the 10.5 kilometre run. William Crichton was fastest here earlier, but now it's wet. Tyre choice as much as bravery will be critical now. Crichton is fast and error-free, but is he quick enough to peg back the charging John Armstrong? Time will tell.
Oh, right to the crest.
Marion Evans is not looking super quick here, and he'll end up more than 25 seconds off Crichton after the wrong choice of tyre for this stage and the next. That's going to open the door for others to jump onto that third placed podium position.
Left down, what's surfing through here. Another crest jump. Back left, give a crest link over 3 left of the crest 3.
And this could be the man to do just that. Matt Edwards is absolutely flying on the treacherous surface, not just in terms of the BRC fight, but scaring some of the European Championship drivers too. Edwards has gone for the right choice of tyre, and he's got the car well hooked up. He's looking absolutely unstoppable on this penultimate stage. But remember, this is the man to beat. John Armstrong is the leader overall, and on his first BRC appearance of 2024, he isn't in the hunt for the title, whereas teammate William Crichton is. Will M Sport ask him to drop behind Crichton to help William for the championship. It's a fascinating subplot to the rally. On board with Matt Edwards and David Moynihan as they head for the flying finish.
Times 4 long. Go 5 right. 80. Crest, throwing 60 down, square right, shiny. 60 down, 2 left minus, opens max upper brow. 80 down, 4 left minus, opens short. Okay.
And that is a 6 minutes 15.6. That's a stage win for Edwards. On board now with John Armstrong, 6:15 to beat. You can see just how treacherous the roads are. It stopped raining, but they're still wet.
Minus over finish. 1:30.
And that is a 6:19 dead, so he's 3.4 seconds behind Edwards, but 1.1 seconds quicker than Crichton.
That was a lot trickier than I was expecting.
Yeah.
The junior runners have been badly hit with both stages 11 and 12 going to notional times. So it's really a two-stage sprint with stage 13 here and stage 14 to come. On stage 13, it's Ryan McHugh who ruined what looked like a perfect weekend for Johan Lloyd, who, until he was given those notional times, looked to be on his way to a double victory. But in BRC1, it's John Armstrong, the rally leader from William Crichton, with Matt Edwards third. Ocean Price is fourth, fending off Marion Evans, with Gary Pearson in sixth. Just over 10 seconds separate the top three. It's all going to come down to the final stage and maybe some clever teamwork. Join us for the climax after the break. Battle for honours in the penultimate round of the Probite British Rally Championship comes down to this. Less than a second between second and third drivers, and both William Crichton and Matt Edwards could catch John Armstrong, the rally leader. So, to the final stage comes Gary Pearson, a last run through Haffel. It's not been the best event for Gary, but such has been the attrition rate, he can still score decent points here. For William Crichton, it's been redemption day. After becoming the king of punctures on round 5, he's now the king of the road. Well, nearly. It's been steady as she goes for Marion Evans today. Top 5 or 6 on most stages without looking like a stage winner. And the wrong tyre choice for this final loop resulted in a spin this afternoon. Gary Pearson has struggled for pace today and possibly confidence after an off yesterday. But in a rally of attrition, he still gets 9 championship points for 6th, and Daniel Barrett can relax in the co-driver's seat. Job almost done. William Crichton is the first of the challengers on the road, but he's lagging behind Armstrong on the timing sheet. And he'll lag even more if he makes too many mistakes like this. Evans will end 4th on this stage and 5th overall. A satisfactory day's work for the Welsh driver. William Crichton has had the original game of 2 halves. Saturday was a day to forget, but he's put all that behind him today and has been the best of the BRC1 regular runners.
62 right minus cut, only 25 right wheel. In the fast 2 right half long.
With championship rivals in strife, it's been a golden opportunity to harvest some points here.
Opens hold into 1 right for 100. Tightens to 2 over finish. 40. Slight right, 30.
He stops the clock at 10 minutes 4.2, but there's a bunch of quick crews behind him.
Hold up.
And those quick drivers include this man, Matt Edwards. But he's not looking as quick here as he needs to be. He has a bit of time in hand on Ocean Price in that third place struggle, but he won't want to be giving up much more time. Has the Ford got a problem? John Armstrong has been immense today. The split time suggesting he is again much quicker than anyone else. On his return to the British Rally Championship, a win looks to be on the cards.
Post up right entry. You alright? Yeah. It's gone? Yeah. Knock it off? No, just go. What?
Edwards has got a problem, definitely. The power is coming and going. The car needs a Control-Alt-Delete reset in a sense, and this might open the door for Ocean Price.
Fire. Fire up again.
The car gets going again, but Edwards most definitely has an issue. This man does not have a problem. John Armstrong is fast, smooth, error-free, and showing the field how it's done, coping admirably with the slippery roads after that lunchtime rain. Ocean Price needs to keep the pressure on Edwards. He doesn't know that Matt has a power issue, but he just has to press on regardless.
Punch the max long, tightens to 3 minus opens.
Matt Edwards is very cross. His Ford Fiesta spluttering and banging on the very last kilometre of the event.
5, tightens long. Okay.
It's a furious Edwards. He gets through the flying finish, but the car does at least look to have given him enough power to keep his third place. We'll have to wait for Ocean Price to finish before we can be sure. And this is Ocean powering to the final few corners. He's been battling with Matt Edwards for this final podium position all day. Edwards has lost time with that power issue, but Price isn't quite going to make it. He ends up just under 4 seconds shy of Edwards, so it's fourth for previous Rally Ceredigion winner Price to go with his third yesterday. It's not a bad weekend's work. John Armstrong and Owen Tracy are heading for home. The times have been spectacular. They have been first or second on all 4 of the stages today. That's real dominance. And the stages they have won have been by wide margins.
Short square left around Bales into 1 right, narrow. 60. 5 right, flat cut into left 0, dumped.
Wet or dry, Armstrong has been flying on the Welsh roads today. Another stage win beckons, and so seemingly does a rally win.
Early 5 right, opens over crest long.
He finishes the stage on 9 minutes 52.5 seconds. There's no one within 12 seconds of him.
Well done, Owen.
Fair play.
Good job all weekend, mate.
Good run there, well done.
Yeah.
It's a double whammy for Ireland as Ryan McHugh steers his Ford Fiesta into the top spot in the junior BRC event. Johan Lloyd adds to yesterday's win with a second place here and a win in the Stellantis Motorsport Rally Cup. A very satisfactory few days. The Open winner, as he was yesterday, is Callum Black, and he is just 1 point ahead of John Rintoul in the battle for that title as they head to the final round next month. Nathan Bolton follows up his second place yesterday in the National Runners by going 1 better today and taking maximum points. And congratulations to James Lightfoot, who wrapped up the BRC4 title yesterday and then celebrated by doing the double in the BRC4 class with a second win of the weekend. But today has all been about John Armstrong, who has dominated the 6th round of the British Rally Championship here at Rally Ceredigion. Armstrong chased home by Will Crichton with Matt Edwards third and then Ocean Price fourth. Fifth to Marion Evans from Gary Pearson in sixth, with Ryan McHugh winning the junior battle seventh from Johan Lloyd, then Keelan Grogan and Robert Proudlock to round out the top 10. It's been a day of dominance for Ford Fiesta drivers, but there have been some hard luck stories too.
Well, John, first BRC entry of the season, and it was a real masterclass in rally driving today. How was it from inside the car?
Yeah, it was really, really good, to be honest. Not an easy day because of the conditions, some slippery places to watch out for, and yeah, I think everyone had moments. We even had a moment where Chris went off this morning, only we were in the wet and it was even more sketchy, but yeah, really good pace. Good to see that we're able to fight with the BRC front runners and actually take a win today. Our pace yesterday would have been really good to challenge for a win as well, so yeah, let's see if we can come back to the BRC in the future. I think that'd be really cool.
But even as John Armstrong celebrates with the other podium drivers and the teams pack up, there is breaking news. Let's join Holly McRae.
Well, we all know just how quickly things can change in rallying, and it's breaking news here as a last-minute clerk of the course decision comes through stating that John Armstrong and Owen Tracy checked in late to the last time control of the rally, resulting in a 20-second penalty. Now, that decision drops them from first position to second position in round 6 of the British Rally Championship, giving the win to William Crichton.
Team orders at play, it seems, and whatever your stance on that, it means in the BRC 1 Championship it will all be decided on the final event, the Cambrian Rally, next month. 1 point separates William Crichton and Chris Ingram, but should both of those hit trouble, then Ocean Price and Keith Cronin can still nick it. John Armstrong had a stellar weekend on his first outing of the year, while James Williams must be wondering who he upset with 4 successive retirements. In the teams battle, it's M Sport Ford Rally Team ahead of Castrol MEM Rally Team and then JKS Northern Ireland in third. Ryan McHugh takes the junior laurels with Johan Lloyd and Keelan Grogan joining him on the podium. Robert Proudlock continues to lead the standings with Lloyd and then Kyle McBride, the chasing pair, but winner McHugh is just 4 points behind McBride after today's win.
We had a bad enough day yesterday, look, but it turned around today, and for sure we had a better rally today, and yeah, look, built a lot of confidence today and a bit closer to the European lads as well. So yeah, look, it's been a good day for us, and it's I suppose it's a stepping stone going forward.
Tell us a little bit about what these Welsh roads have been like inside the car.
Yeah, the big cuts was really challenging from the top European lads. Like I've never seen them kind of cuts before, but yeah, you just have to put the car in and go with it. Like, so yeah, it took a bit of time to learn, but yeah, I think we've learned a lot. We might have been a wee bit slow yesterday, but I think we've learned a lot, and hopefully going forward we've had to be a lot closer to these guys.
Our fans have been out in force in the Welsh mountains, and the videos you have been uploading are seriously impressive. Here's the best of them. It's been the wild west of Wales this weekend, but it's going to get even wilder next month when one man will take it all. Be sure to join us on November the 6th when all will be revealed.